everybody. We're back in the studio. I am doing this painting. It's a pretty easy one. I have a paint party that I'm going to be doing, and I thought we would enjoy something just a little easy. I wanted to put it on tape for you guys to see if you were interested in maybe doing this painting. Okay, I'm going to show you some of the colors that we're going to be using for this. We're going to use deep yellow, and that could be like cad yellow, medium to deep. We're going to use bright red. Okay. And Mars black, titanium white, and ultramarine blue, which I am going to pull out of my drawer here. I had that real handy yesterday. Here it is. Ultramarine blue. This was a Galleria color that I had gotten on sale, but you can use any ultramarine blue. What we're going to start out, I want to trace his a body out, and I'm going to use a Posca pen. I like those a lot, and they are very, they work very well. They're very, they don't dilute in the, with paint, and I guess I have to find one because I don't see my Posca pens handy here. Let's see how this works. Okay, let me go find my Posca pen. I'll be right back. Okay, instead of the Posca pen, I am using a paint marker. It's an acrylic paint marker. I'm going to bring this in just a tad so that you can see it. And I am going to outline my person with the black pen. And this will just keep him. Now, what I like about this pen is it's very, very, it's not like wide, you know, so this way you get a nice dark line. It seems as though I'm kind of goofing him up. So you want to be careful whenever you are doing this, that you don't divert from the lines that we have here on the painting. Now, of course, you can always get this tracing on Patreon. I have the link in the information section at the bottom. And you can get this on my Patreon page for $1. And that'll like kind of give you what you know, all the information you need here for this tracing. And I hope that you support me by giving me a thumbs up, make a comment, also subscribe. You see the little subscribe button there, and if you can just subscribe to my channel, I would love that. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do here is we are going to paint our sky. Now the sky is a deep yellow. So, there's my Sally. My little Sally came to visit me today in the studio. Hi Sally. How are you today? How are you today, huh? Alright, so let's get started here. We're going to put some of that yellow out on my palette. And we're going to put some white on the palette as well. And we are going to mix, we're going to mix like more of the titanium white with the yellow, because we want this background to be not transparent, and yellow is a transparent shade, so we want to put more of the paint with that instead. So I'm going to use my palette knife, and I'm going to grab a nice amount of white to one, maybe like 2 parts to 1 part yellow. And if you can see that, it's pretty pale. And I'm going to use my, let's see, my number 10 flat bristle. Okay, and I'm just going to paint the sky. So you want to paint around the mountain area. And get your sides, of course. You know, we always get the side parts. Get around the mountainous areas here. This is an evening sunset. So we might put a little bit of red through here also to make like an orange shade. Just kind of giving some cloud-like imaging. Grab a little bit more here so I can get these sides. So we got that in there very well. Just all right. So yeah, I want to get a couple light areas, really light. So I'm going to grab some of my white. Kind of just put in a little bit of low-lying clouds here, just around the areas of the deep part of the mountain there. Just kind of get it a little lighter. And I am going to also mix a little red. Make an orange, so you know how you do that. You just orange and yellow make red. I mean make orange. Yellow and red make orange, I'm sorry. So I'm going to grab a little bit of my yellow, a little bit of my red. Kind of just twist in a couple little clouds here. just lightly get some of these in here. And I'm holding my brush sort of like flat and just kind of scrubbing them in a bit. Start one up here. And I don't want to overdo this, just to get a few in here, just to tap them in. Nothing crazy, but you just kind of want to have a little bit of that orange in there. And they can come down through here. They get a little bit more wispy, more straight as you get down to the mountain area. You want them a little straighter, but this here would be a little bit more fluffy. And they kind of dissipate as they get more towards the horizon. I mean, more towards the mountain. It kind of just gets, they kind of straighten out. They're not as willowy and puffy and pretty. So got those in. Now I'm going to rinse out my brush. And I'm going to mix some ultramarine blue. I'm going to use a little bit of red and some white. So I need to get my white again. And I want to get my white. We're going to make like a purple. So you're going to add more of the white again. White is very important in this painting. A small amount of ultramarine blue. We're going to make purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix red and blue together first. I'm going to use my palette knife again. Wipe off your knife because there's some that yellow and you don't want yellow on there. So I'm going to just grab a little bit of my blue, my red, get a nice purple going. Then I'm going to add some white. And I'll show you what this looks like here. Actually looks very pretty. Okay, can you see that? Okay, so that's what our next step will be to get those clouds in there. There's Sally again. Hey Sally, what's up? Okay, so we're just going to get these clouds in. I mean these mountains. Looks like I still have some yellow in my... I need to get... I have like on the bottom of my water container one of those washing things, you know, that you wash your... It like you scrub it on there. It's like in a circle. I have one of those at the bottom of my water container, and it is very old and I cannot find another one around here to get a new one. They used to carry them at Packetans, and Packetans is no longer in business, so I have to see if Michael's has them. Now you can use the side of your brush, kind of just to, this is a mountain, so you're going to make little ridges. You want to make some ridges. Now the mountain here is in the background, so it's far away. far away from where this man is sitting in his hammock. And you want to leave just a little bit of white area there in order to, I'm just using kind of like the side of my brush. Kind of like to just make that a little rougher. I kind of got it in the tree here. Let's see if I can wipe that out a little bit, yeah, before it gets set in there. Don't forget your sides. You want this because you only do this if you have a gallery wrap canvas. I may have to mix a little bit more of my paint here. Let's see. There we go. Just to get a little thicker. And I'm just going to leave a little area there because I'm going to add some white to that. We're creating a little mist in there. Little mist. I'm going to grab some white on my brush. Put that in here. Just kind of blending it up a bit. This is very easy adult painting. You learn a lot here with this little easy painting. We're going to just blend that a little bit. You're creating that mist. Okay, I'm going to wipe my brush because I want to get more of the dark through here. Kind of just lightly now feather that so that mist kind of rises a little bit. Okay, now let me get some more of the white. I'm just wiping off my brush. Kind of just getting more of this in here, a little bit lighter. Kind of like getting that mist around that mountainous area there. Just get a mist because, like, as it starts to turn sometimes at night, the mountains kind of get that mistiness going, you know, like it's like a fog in the lower parts of the mountains. Believe me, I've seen this, and the mountains that we go to aren't very large. I mean, it's just a small ridge. It's called Seven Springs. My husband's played there a couple of times, and this mist does occur. So, just want to kind of make it like a remind, or, you know, something that shows that's sort of happening. Doesn't have to be great. It's just a little bit, and then just blend it. Blend it out a little. Lightly with your brush. Grab a little purple. Kind of just go over this a little bit more. Okay. Alright, so the next step is that we are going to paint the blue. We are going to make the distant mountain. We are going to put the blue part in. So I'm going to use my brush here, this flat one, and I'm going to mix a little bit of titanium white with the ultramarine blue, and we'll make that area. So get my titanium white and my blue. And I just mix that with the brush. And you can see it's almost the same color as those mountains up top. A little bit more blue, just a tad more blue here. Now you have to work around the hammock a little bit. But you're still going to keep some of that mistiness going, so I am going to leave a little white there again. Okay, so I am going to continue putting in this blue here, and this bluish mixture. I'm going to go over this because as it's drying, I can see it's very see-through, and I don't want that. Same probably with this. I'll probably go over it as well. So let me finish this, and we'll be right back. Okay, so the next step that I'm going to do here, I got everything filled in. I want to add a little bit more white along these ridges. I want to put some like mistiness in here. And let's see what else we need to do. We're going to make the top of this a little darker also, because we want that to stand out a bit. So there's mist that comes up through there also. So I am going to get my white, and I'm just going to lightly blend that in, just kind of like this. And then with my larger brush that I had, I'm kind of going to go over that so it's not so, you just want that like mistiness coming up through here, just in certain places, not everywhere. Just kind of mist it. Kind of get this more too around here. Just blend it up. Kind of blend it with this. I'm just doing circular motions here. Blend up. Just blend it. And with another brush, I'm just going to use like a small brush here. I added a little bit more of that on top here just to clean it up. And I want to just make sure that's solid. Okay. Solid line. Okay, a little bit more white. Got some on here, so just gonna tap it in. And anywhere that it's a little bit heavier, just go over it lightly. Okay. There's like this mist. I guess it's early morning or evening, and the mist starts to get into the mountains. And just make sure it's blended well. Okay, let me get some more of this here where I did that, and here, so it's okay. Now we're going to put that mist down in here also, so I'm going to get my smaller brush. Now this is a number 6 flat that I'm using. Doing the same kind of thing that we did with that. Just blending it. Like a little mist going on here also. Here's my white. Blending it in. If you feel you have a line there, you can always go over it with the blue again. Get some of that mist going up in these areas also. A little bit more through here, maybe. Oops, that's a little too much. We can add some of the darker shade here to that also, if we want to. Actually, I think it looks pretty decent. I'm going to just kind of erase that line there, kind of blend it. Okay, so now we're going to kind of just highlight the top of the mountain with a little bit of the ultramarine blue and some titanium white, and we're just gonna paint the top of this blue mountain a little bit. So a little bit more of the ultramarine in that blue mixture. It's like equal parts of blue, ultramarine blue, and white, and then just a touch of the red, touch red. Just a little bit darker than the other mixture, so we're just going to outline this here like this. Kind of give it a little depth. And I'm going to get that brush that we were just using, kind of blend that down a little bit, because we don't want that to be like a solid line. You just kind of want to blend it a little. And you can just blend some of that in down here so that you have some of that blue coming through. Just some dry brushing. Just dry brush it. It's good that way. Okay. So we've got our Misty Mountains in. Oops. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to get like our ultramarine, little titanium, and some deep yellow and some red, and we're going to put distant trees in. So we are going to mix that. So it's, let's see if we can get that to, okay, so let's use 3 parts of ultramarine blue. And let's try 1 part of the titanium white. Some titanium white. A touch of the red. Touch red. And then, let's see, let's try 1 part of the deep yellow. We want to kind of have a greenish color. And that green and blue, the blue and yellow will make that greenish shade. But we have to make this as a distant color, so I'm thinking to add enough white in there so that it's light. Right now it's kind of dark in my palette here. So let me get more white out. Okay. And a little bit more yellow in this because I kind of made a big batch here. So you want that greenish shade to come through. Almost like a gray blue, if you can see that. And I still think I need to have a little bit more yellow in there because you want that more green, maybe even more white. I could pull it off to the side since I mixed so much of it. See if this is close to that shade here that I'm looking for. I think I need some more yellow. Wow. Probably a little bit more white. Oh, now it's starting to shape up a bit. Let's see. That greenish color. A little bit more red maybe in this, just to tone it down some. Okay. Oh yeah, this is nice now. Okay. Okay, so it's sort of like a grayish green. Okay. So we want to use our 3/4 inch flat, so I'm going to get that cleaned off. Okay, this is the flat, and we are going to put those trees in. Okay, so we're going to hold our brush straight up and down, and we're just going to tap these in. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay. So, I need a little bit more of the white out on my palette. Let's see here. Okay. Alright, let's get, and then we're going to alternate some of the white, kind of giving it a, so we're holding this brush vertically. We're coming down. Kind of making light ones. Actually, I'm wondering if I should use my, because I don't like the way this is turning out. Let's see. Let me use my fan brush instead. Because I think the trees will turn out much better. Yeah. So we're not going all the way down because right in through here it's going to be a little bit misty again. So, see, I'm just holding it vertically. I'm going to go into some of that darker green too. Kind of just go in between some of this. So you want different sizes. As you come forward, things get a little darker. Well, we could start out with the dark and then push those back with some light, I guess. That would be better. Now this is going to be a little tricky here because I think that this here we just want to kind of paint in. Okay. Kind of. Just add a little bit of trees in the background there. But we're going to paint that a little differently too. Okay, because around here you kind of don't want to have that trees and stuff around this. But we do want to come in and kind of get trees in through here a bit. Okay. Put the dark ones. And then we're going to go with the light ones. Maybe with some white. Put some white on our brush. So it comes forward a little. Okay. There we go. Get some of those light ones. You have to cover the entire canvas. You can't just let that white show through there. Now, with my large brush, well, let's use this one. I like this one, this number 6 flat. Let's just kind of go around him. We got to get that mist looking down here also. Get that little bit of misty going. Cover up any white spots that you see because you don't want to see those. We can even add some blue, some of that blue in there, just to kind of like offset some of this. Give it some colors, reflections. We'll get more of that mist in. Oops, don't want to go into him. Get some white. Kind of just go around this a little bit. Just pull it down. Pulling it down. Let's get some of that in through here also. Just kind of. Giving it a little structure here. Misty's a little bit more mist. Keeping this going. Some yellow would be nice in here because I just want to have some variegations in color. These are distant trees, so it's going to show different shades. I mean, the sun, even though it's just kind of coming up here, pull it up into those trees. If it's still wet, some of that will come down. This is behind this man, so on his hammock, so pull this down too if you can. Okay, let's see here. Some white here. Just indication of some trees that might be in through there. Okay, more white. Let's bring some of this here. Get some of that in there. Okay, now we'll get some of that darker, just kind of put it back in, put them back in, and then they kind of like get pulled down, almost like as if this was water. So you just kind of pull them down in, see, nice, pull it up, just those indications to make it look foggy. And even, let's see, on tops of these mountains, you can just pull some of this up. So it just kind of shows there might be some trees there. I'm going to get a filbert. I don't know if that'll work better. Let's see. Just kind of pulling up some of those areas, making it look like there's trees up the top of those mountains instead of that harsh line. Let's see. Okay, let's see here now. Just kind of pull these up. Just kind of like showing there might be some trees. Pull it down. If I wet this tad, it might be working better. It kind of gets dry, the paint, so you have to work with it. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's get some more of these in. Gonna tap these right now and then we'll put them in better. I just want to tap it in, get that misty looking. Make sure you cover all your canvas. Okay. Put some more of those trees. I think this is starting to shape up. Right? We're starting to shape up. Put some more of these in. And get some dark in. Get those ones. You just want to make sure that your brush is vertical, not horizontal. And pull this down or up. Just kind of pull it up. I think if you pull it up, it looks a little bit more misty. Just pull this down here because you don't want that line around the hammock to be showing. Now you got to get some more of that mist in that background there of this here mountain. So we're going to go in once again with some white. I'm running out of the other white, so I'm going to use this Master's Touch white. This is a little bit more of a, it's not real solid like the other one. It's not too bad though, but it's okay. It's good for this kind of thing, you know, when you're practicing and what happened there. Just cover that there. This is not what we want to have showing there. Okay. Ooh, just got my fingers all messed up. Alright, let's see what we can put that mist back in there. Yeah, because we got those trees now, so we gotta probably fix that. I'm wiping out my brush because I don't want that line. I want this to kind of like fog into the mountainous area. So we're gonna push it up. We'll get our trees back in there, but this has to be kind of foggy because the mountain, like I said, is foggy. It's a foggy mountain. So Now the trees are covering up that part, but this one here, we want that to be kind of looking foggy. So we're just going to pull that up again. And you might have to do this several times, you know, it's just the way it is. Just the way it is. Gotta work at it. Now because this is sort of like a greenish blue, we're going to be putting this as a red. And that'll bring out some of these colors also, because red and green are complementary. So that'll be a kind of a nice little thing too. And we got those little trees, indication of little trees in through here. But it's also very misty. Okay, let's get some trees. Let's see if we can get some in there. Okay, I'm going to use this brush just to kind of tap them in. Just tapping some little indications here. Just indications, because as you get closer, you'll see these. You won't see a lot, but you'll see some. Just little teeny trees up there. Teeny, teeny trees. Okay, let's get some more in here so we don't see that. Some dark. Okay, let me get my fan brush again. And you can use any size fan brush, whatever is easiest for you to use. I have, let's see, I don't think there's a size. Oh, it's a number 5 fan brush that I'm using. I'm going to go into my dark. Kind of just tap some of these in here. Bring them down here a little bit. Get my sides here. Okay, I like it. Let me see from back here. I always like to look some. Oh yeah, that looks good. So we're going to be putting more things in here also. It's like a silhouette. But I think what I want to do now is just get my red hammock going. I'm going to get that. So we'll need some more red out on our palette. Okay. Make sure I have enough. Okay, and I think I'm going to use my number 6 flat for this to paint that in. All right. If you find that your paint is dry, add a little water to the mix. Now right here, it's like we gotta go over top of that. Kind of bringing it to a point. Okay. Get your brush to a chisel point so you can make a nice straight line. if you find you go out over top of these trees, that's alright. It's fine. Okay, we got one coat on anyway. Okay, now we're going to fill him in. And we're going to use, let's see, we're going to use, oh gosh, let's see, how can we do him? I think with Mars Black, we're just going to go in with some Mars Black, and we're going to, oh wow, I guess we're going to make some Christmas trees in here. I kind of got ahead of myself, but we're going to put some Christmas trees in. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we're going to do them big trees there too. We're going to get that done. So we're going to use, let's see, what will we use? How we make this? We're going to get some yellow, ultramarine blue, and Mars Black. And we're going to do that. We're going to put those pine trees in. I kind of got ahead of myself with the hammock. So let's put those in. And I got Mars Black. More yellow than anything. I think I'm going to have to get another piece of palette paper for this. Okay. Just kind of move this back. Because we're going to use that black there. Okay. So, let's see. I'm going to get my palette knife. And let's see what we have to do here. I want to make some yellow. So I'm going to use my yellow. I'm going to probably mix about 4 parts, like I said. Some ultramarine blue, equal parts. And we'll put some black in there after. Just gonna mix the two, ultramarine blue and yellow. Get a nice green. Ooh, yeah, that's nice. And 2 parts possibly of the black. So it's going to kind of have that dark green shade. Almost like a olive green color. Okay. So what I'm going to do is let me see here for a minute. But before I go and put those trees in, I'm going to put a little bit of sun in here. And I'm going to do that with my larger brush. We don't know if this is a sunrise or a sunset. And I'm just going to use white. And possible, I'm not sure yet if I want to use yellow in this. But when I make a sun, I go like, I make a round circle. I put my brush vertically and then just twist it around. Kind of getting a nice little circle in there. Okay. Okay, and you get kind of a nice little circle there. And some of these clods here, I'm going to just put a little red in there, just a tad. Just kind of like giving it a dry brush. Just some differences here in these beautiful clouds. Wispiness. And that would be more out this way because the sun is here. So those clouds are going to get a little bit less. We're going to put some yellow or some white on some of those clouds. Just because the sun is there. Just kind of like tapping it around, okay? Because the sun is here, it's going to be lighter down in here. So we want to get some of that lightness in there, like that. And I'm using a number 4 flat, just kind of getting maybe underneath here a little bit of this from the sun. Maybe in through here, tad. You're going to get more of a lightness because that sun is there. Okay. We could add some of those white clouds through here, just kind of lightly. Get some of those in. With dry brushing. Dry brushing is not much on your paintbrush, so you're just kind of going over it lightly, like a dryness to the brush. Okay, don't overdo your clouds, don't overdo it. Alright, so let's get some of that green. I'm going to tap some of that green on my 2 trees here. And then we'll put those beautiful evergreens in. So I'm going to use that little brush that I just had, that number 4, and that mixture that I made. And we'll just put some nice little green pieces of green on these trees here. And I'm going to make a couple sections here with that. We want like an uneven number, so let's make like on this side here, we can make another one here. I don't like it though. Let's put it, well, maybe that's fine. I don't know. We'll see how it looks after we're done here. Same over here on this side. Okay. You don't need them across from each other, so just kind of, maybe on this one we can just make 3. Be kind of nice. Let's put one over here. Right. Here. We'll start it. Okay. Alright. Now let's see if we can do these beautiful little I'm going to use my fan brush to do this. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is kind of make our trunk. So I'm just going to go like this. Okay. And when you do this, you start out very small. Just kind of tap it in. Go back and forth. Just kind of like put a couple up there. And you're just tapping it back and forth. Try to make the branches go upward. You're holding it horizontally. You're holding your brush horizontally, just tapping it in. Tapping it in. And you're letting some of that background show through. Okay. Going all the way down. Okay. Okay, get some more paint. And let's put a teeny one right here. Oops, that's a little thick there. Okay, just kind of tap that. Okay, now do the same thing. Back and forth, back and forth. And you can kind of now the thing that I want to do is maybe get some black, put that on my brush, make some dark, little dark parts here too. So just tapping in a little bit of dark on this tree. Same here, just a little dark. Just to give it a little volume so that it's not laying flat. Don't want to lay flat. And this takes a little time, so you might want to practice like doing your evergreen on another sheet of paper, just to kind of give it that little bit. Okay, let's put one. I think instead of making this even, I'm going to just put one tree right there. I think that will be enough. And I'm going to do that after I get the other trees in. The other trees, let's see, we're going to use some, let me see, we're going to use some black and yellow. We're going to make a mixture of that, black and yellow. So get our yellow out again. Yellow. And those are, we're going to use 2 parts of the yellow and 1 part black. That to be darker than those trees there. Let's see, a little bit more black here. Okay. Yeah, I want to get those trees in so that I can put my other Christmas tree over here. But I don't like things that are even, so I want to make this uneven. So I'm going to use my number 12, was it? Number 10 flat bristle. just to start with. And this one, if you go out of lines, it's fine because not all trees are straight. Remember, trees have like a little bit of a movement, little odd kind of thing going on here. So you can make it a little bit crazy looking. I want to clean that up now. I got to clean that side here. Let's see if I get one of my baby wipes here. Wipe that off. You don't want that far out of the picture. Oops, here we go. All right. And you can push those Christmas trees back by going over the tree. So I'm going to make this look a little round instead of straight. I'm just moving my brush around it. Okay. Kind of giving it a little bit of, that it looks round. Even though it's dark, you'll still see that. So it's kind of good to like make your strokes go around the trunk instead once you get the paint in and it's still wet. Okay, like that. A bit more black in here. Let's do this one now. A little bit more black with my green. I'm going to pull that out there. Your tree doesn't have to follow the pattern. You know, you can make your tree the way you want it. Don't forget, my pattern will be on Patreon for $1. You'll be able to download the pattern and use it. Alright, so we're going to go around. Just want that a little bit bigger. This one's a big tree. Okay, and just kind of do this. Oops. Go around again with your strokes. Okay, so we got that. Let's do our other little evergreen. So I'm getting my fan brush. And I'm going into my green mixture. Okay, let's see where this tree lives. Well, maybe it lives right about here. Right about here. Okay. Now I've got my fan brush loaded. You can see. Okay, now I don't start right at the top with this. I start a little bit down. You're just going to kind of tap little pieces in here. Nothing crazy. And then you start to go back and forth with it. Okay. And try to have your branches like going up. Now here, this one's a little bit of a bush looking thing. I'm going to add maybe a little yellow to that just to kind of give it a little pizzazz. This tree here, it just starts to get a little bit more bushy at the bottom. It's more of a tree that doesn't have much on it. And then I'm going into my black. Kind of just fill in some of the areas with some black. Just kind of give it a little bit of depth here. All right, now I think I'm going to go into my yellow. I want to rinse this out. Yellow. Some of that green. Add a little bit, just a tad, because you got to realize the sun might be showing some of this, so just tap some here and there. Same here. Same here. Okay. All right, now let's get this bottom in too. We want to put some of that dark in there that we just mixed. So I'm going to use my fan brush in my dark shade here, my darker color, and I am just going to tap some of this coming up if I can here. Just kind of like making it look like there's little dark grasses coming up here on the bottom. And I'm using my fan brush because I can get a nice little, it kind of gives you that little feathery kind of thing coming up, like there's brush there. If you find you start to run out, put more on your brush, like that. Okay, all right. Alright, so we got the little grasses down here. Let's, I think we're going to paint him in now. Let's get him done. I'm going to just use, let's see, I'm going to use my small number 4 flat. And he's going to be all black, because he's a silhouette. Here's his ear. You've got that outline, so that should help you to paint him in. He's enjoying himself in this nice afternoon or morning, whatever. He might have a deck there in between these two trees. Who knows? He's an interesting character here in this painting. Taking it easy. Enjoying his mountain retreat. Oh, you can hear the wind. Now you may not have seen how I did this here, but I just pulled up with my fan brush. We're going to put some highlights, more highlights on the trees too. I think we need to do that. We're going to work on him first, get him placed here. Just be careful with this. You want to try to stay in the lines the best that you can here. Okay, let's, oops. Okay, I'm going to put my brush in my water. I am going to get the red again. And paint that hammock a little bit more. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, now we're going to pull some black into this to give it a little bit of, just a little detail. So I'm just going to grab a little bit on my brush, kind of pull put through here. Just giving it a little bit of a shadowy effect. Just kind of pulling some of these in. A bit more. Okay, and we got to connect it to the tree. Okay, and same here. And we can put that in front of the tree here, this one. Okay. And this is going to be tied around the tree with some red. So we want to go like that. So we have a little bit of a tie there. Same on the other side. Just tie it on this tree. It on down. Okay, now looks like my black is going to need some more black here. Let's see here if we can get that a little better. Probably have to go over that again. Okay, now I want to put a couple little highlights on the side here. And I'm just going to use my burnt sienna. I don't know, we probably did not discuss that, but I think that if we just put a couple little, to make this tree look like it's got some highlights here from the sun. Remember, we got sun going, and we can just kind of scoop some of that around, give it a little bit more. Make it look like a tree. Remember how I told you to make those little round? You can do that here with this. Doesn't have to be all through the tree, just a little bit to indicate that, yeah, it's highlighted, some highlights there. Okay. Make it look more round. So we're going to do that on the other side too. We're going to put them here. Just here and there. Just note that there is some indication here that this is rounded. And that burnt sienna will kind of give it a little bit more of a glow. Okay. Even your grass here, you could give it a little bit of a glow with pulling some up just in areas, little areas here. Okay, so the trees too, I'd like to get those a little bit more highlighted. And I'm going to use some of my yellow for that. I just want to like kind of put a little dab of, some dabs of yellow. I'm still going to use this brush. I think it'll work. Just kind of like, because the sun here, we want that to show that it has a little bit of sunshine on it. And I'm just dabbing it here and there. I'm not doing anything too spectacular, just kind of getting the There's some darkness and there's some light in these trees. And I think this would probably be where you would want it, on this side here. Just kind of giving it a little bit more pizzazz that it doesn't look funny. And I think what I'm going to do here, I want to bring that down a little bit because it looks a little lost on the bottom. So I'm going to get my blackish green here with my fan brush. Kind of just tap in a little bit more here. Just kind of, and then you could get some black and get some of that black in there too, so that it has some shadow. Okay, and then we could tap that yellow in. Just kind of some here and there. And I'm using the side of my brush. Just using the side of my brush. Okay, I'm going to add some more black to his little area there, so that it's not looking empty. Okay, I think we almost have it completed. Just add a little bit more shadow here on the hammock. Kind of. And you know what? In here, I'm kind of like, I think that tree's just a little too, you know, there's not enough background showing. So I'm going to get some of my light color, kind of just give it a couple little airy spots. I'm just doing this like, just tapping it in, kind of like you do a sky hole. Just kind of, because this tree is just a little too much here. Too much. Okay, I think that helped it. Just didn't like all that showing, you know. Sort of tap this in here too. Okay. And okay, so we see the brown, and it's just not bright enough, I don't think. So I'm going to add a little yellow to that mixture. That raw sienna. Just kind of give it a little bit more oomph. Just pulling it in here and there. You could probably go this way too a little bit. Just want the bark kind of just showing a bit more. And every so often just put it around the other side too. Just kind of giving it a little bit more oomph. Because it wouldn't show as much on the other side as it would on this side here, because this is where the sun is. Okay. I think we have our painting. Man in a hammock. And then you can sign it. I think it looks great. Now, also wanted to mention about the book. I believe I mentioned this around the holidays. It's called Summer Vacation, and it's by Nicole Leckenby. That's my daughter, and I've illustrated the book, and there is a dedication to the special people with cancer, Thatcher and Ariel. Unfortunately, Ariel has passed away. She was an 8-year-old child, and it's very sad because she's a beautiful little girl. And every book that's sold, $1 goes to Alex's lemonade stand. So it is worth checking it out. It's on Amazon. I can put the link down at the bottom for you to look at the and it's a cute little book, and we're actually working on a series. So this will be our endeavor over the next, I guess, whenever we get it done, because it's going to take a while to draw the pictures again. But we are real excited about how this has taken off, and it's been in the paper, the local paper. It's been in the Pitt paper, and we're just really thrilled about the whole thing, and that we can do something for cancer. And Thatcher is my great nephew through my husband, and second cousin to Nicole. And as you can see, it is a dedication to those right here. And unfortunately, like I said, Ariel has passed away, and my heart just sinks when I think of that. You know, so many people get cancer today, and it's something that, although they're coming up with new things to help with people that suffer from the cancer, it's still not enough. And especially children, you don't want to see those children passing away at such a young age. So hopefully you can check it out and maybe purchase a book for your children. And it doesn't talk about cancer in the book. It's just a cute little story about this little boy and his summer vacation. So until next time, have a great day, and we'll be seeing you soon.